What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here with the week's hottest topics. This is number 20, and this is for the week of October 25th through the 30th. Wow, man, I can't believe October is gone. We're 2 months left in 2020, and it's just crazy to think about what 2020 has been. I've been working from home, much like most people, working from home since March of this year. It's crazy to think about where we are in this current time in the world. But you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just talk about the week's hottest topics for, like I said, once again, the week of October 25th through October 30th. All right, you guys. So the first thing that I definitely want to discuss is, actually, I wanted to just say prayers. You send my heartfelt prayers and my well wishes to those who are currently being affected by Hurricane. Is it Zeta? I don't remember the actual name of the hurricane that actually touched down last night, which was Wednesday. I went to sleep and then I woke up this morning and I was watching Good Morning America and I saw, what it had done. And wow, man, it's just really sad. I know that people are without power now. Like I know Roxanne, Forest Rocks. I know she doesn't have power at her house. I can't even imagine what people are going through at this time. So, like I said, once again, my thoughts, my prayers are with everyone that has been affected. I know that when I saw it, it said that 6 people were dead when I was looking at it earlier. Yeah, like I said, you guys, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that has been affected by this hurricane. So with that being said, let's move forward. All right, you guys. So the first thing that I really want to discuss is going to be WhatsApp and the people that are surrounding him that are in the news this week. Now, the first person that I want to talk about is Rudy Giuliani. So Rudy Giuliani was actually in the news last week. It was last Friday, and this came out after I posted my video last Friday because I was watching The View. And if you guys haven't noticed, when I post hot topics, I post it between 10 and 11, which is around the time that The View is on. So I was watching The View then, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know, I hadn't even heard about this story because actually I think it happened, the shit with Rudy Giuliani, I think it had happened on Thursday night. So if you guys don't know what happened, you guys know Sacha Baron Cohen, who does the character Borat. So they did a new film, and it was one scene where Rudy Giuliani was in a hotel room with Borat's daughter, who is 15. So once the interview was over, they started drinking, and then there's this still photo of Rudy Giuliani, and she's hovering over him, and Rudy Giuliani has his hands in his pants. He said that when he was taking off the microphone, he was tucking his shirt back into his pants. But the thing that I'm having a problem with is a microphone pack is on your back, is behind you. They put it on your back, and the microphone attaches up here in the front. So how the hell did you go for your crotch area? And if you're tucking your shirt in, I ain't never in my life, in the years that I've had to tuck my shirt in, for when I was in elementary school, when I wore uniforms, when I get dressed up like for church and stuff, I ain't never once had to lay on my back to tuck in my shirt. If anything, that makes your shirt more wrinkled when you lay down, like he does now. But that's not what bothers me, is the fact that, that's not what bothers me. The thing that bothers me the most with this whole Rudy Giuliani thing is the fact that when Borat came in there, he told him that his daughter was 15. And I'm like, so is Rudy Giuliani just a pedophile now? You think it's okay to be in a room with a young girl? Now, granted, the woman is in her 20s, but that's what bothered me the most about it. Besides the fact of him having his hands in his pants and he was tucking his shirt in, that bothered me. But then the other thing, like I said, the fact that this girl was allegedly 15, which again, like I said, the actress is not 15. She's in her mid-20s, early to mid-20s. So that bothered me. And then the other thing that's bothering me is not even dealing with Rudy Giuliani. This is dealing with Jared Kushner, WhatsApp's son-in-law. So he was on, I think, Fox and Friends. I think this was last Friday as well. It was one day last week. And he was talking about, what his dumbass father-in-law has done for the African American community, and how he can't want for them to, want better for themselves. It has to be on them, on us. And so I'm like, wait a minute. So did this motherfucker just literally just sit here and call us lazy? Because that's what I'm getting from it, is he's calling us lazy people. And then I saw black people on Twitter. I mean, I think the black people that be on Twitter that be, agreeing with what YSAP and his family say. I think some of them are troll accounts. I don't necessarily think that they're real black people. I think that they use pictures of black people and just tweet dumb shit. I think that. Now I know that some of them are actual real black people, but the majority of them that you always see in his comments and his tweets, I think that those be trolls. And I think that. So, and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, you calling black people lazy, but you wouldn't have this position at the White House that I still don't understand what qualifies him for this position. You wouldn't have this position if it wasn't for your stupid ass father-in-law, number one. And then number two, that education that you have, you wouldn't have it if your dad wasn't able to pull strings for you to go to college. That's number two. Like, most black people that I know don't have it that easy. Hell, this black person doesn't have that easy. I don't have it easy when it comes to getting a job. I didn't have it easy when it went to going to college. Like, none of the two. The one thing that I will say that works for me is the fact that my first name is a quote unquote white name. If you guys don't know, my first name is Gerald. My mom actually was trying to name me after her brother. His name is Gerald and her name is Geraldine. But she didn't realize that her brother's name was spelled the same way as her name. So she named me Gerald, which my name is spelled Gerald. And my uncle and my mom's names are spelled Jerel. So my mom's name is Geraldine, so it's Jereldine. And my uncle, his name was Gerald Wayne, Jerel and Wayne. So that is the one thing that I can say for myself is thankfully she named, even though, and you guys, and my middle name, it can be black and it can be white. My middle name is Jerome. That's where the J comes from. And Jbsayzwhat, my middle name and my last name. So yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that she gave me this name because, most times people, even on the phone when people talk to me, they don't realize that I'm black right away. And then, like I said, my name, Gerald, most people don't think that I'm black until they see me. And then the last thing that I wanted to actually, nope, it's not going to be the last thing that I'm going to discuss with YSAP. So you guys know YSAP is still doing a lot of talking. He's feeding to his base, I feel, at this point. That's exactly what he's doing. Because he's talking to his base and he's telling his base that, come November 4th, COVID is going to be a thing of the past. Like, nobody's going to be talking about it. And I'm like, are you fucking joking? The numbers keep going up. The numbers are going up. We are in the fall. We are actually seeing what Dr. Fauci was saying about the spike coming in the fall. We are here. We are seeing it. And you still telling people that it's not. For someone who allegedly had COVID, how can he say some dumb shit? I know how he can say some dumb shit. He doesn't give a fuck is what it is. He doesn't give a fat fuck. I'm talking about come November 4th, they won't be talking about it. Are you fucking joking? People are still dying. Like 220,000 something people have died because of your dumb ass. I literally hate that man. God, I can't stand him. He's a fucking worst. And then you got people and hear me out, you guys. I'm not saying who can support him and who can't support him. But, 50 Cent came out in support of him, and now Lil Wayne has come out in support of him. The only reason why these niggas are supporting him is because they want the tax cut. That's all these niggas want. And then Lil Wayne is talking about this platinum plan. My nigga, if you really thought that this motherfucker was really truthful about this platinum plan, he's been in office for 4 fucking years. He ain't done a bitch ass thing about this platinum plan. He waited until election time to talk about this shit. If you really believe that he was really for that shit, you dumb as fuck. You ET gremlin looking motherfucker. Like I'm a huge fan of Wayne, but here with the shit that he said lately, it's just stupidity. Talking about talking about the Black Lives Matter. It doesn't apply to him because he's a young, rich black man. Nigga, you can still get shot. Look what happened to Offset. He didn't get shot, but the cops pulled him over at the Trump rally. Offset did not get shot, but look, Offset is rich too. Doesn't make a motherfucking difference. And then to close out with a YSAP. So in Omaha, Nebraska, he had a one of them rallies. Now here's the thing that I couldn't understand, because I saw this video where the Air Force One was landing by the crowd, and I'm like, y'all just really just sitting there letting that dust, because you could see the dust blowing in their face. I'm like, damn, y'all are really that stupid to sit there and let dust. That is dust getting you know what? They're dumb because and I saw how dumb they were with this Omaha thing that he did, where he left them stranded for hours in the cold. Some people ended up walking, and some people ended up going to the hospital. But y'all really think he gives a fuck about y'all? Okay. Yeah. Let's move on, because I'm tired of talking about that ignorant ass motherfucker. What the fuck? Did I turn this off? Yep, I did. Flying frizzle frack fuck. All right, you guys. So the next thing that we have to discuss is, once again, another shooting of a black man. You guys, I have to say that I am so sick and tired of talking about these stories. Like, it's never ending at this point. Like, it's like every time you turn on the news, you hear about a black person getting shot and killed. What is it gonna take? Like, what is it going to take? The thing that I have a big problem with now, it's being said that, his name is what is his name? I just closed my phone. His name is Walter Wallace Jr. So the thing that I'm having an issue with is they're saying that he had a knife on him. Okay, I get it. A knife is considered a weapon, but you have more at your disposal than he does. Yes, you have a gun, but you should only use a gun when it's, when you desperately need it. If someone if shots are being fired at you, I get that. I understand that. But a knife, a knife, yes, he can stab you. He can stab you. He can do a lot of things too. Mostly he can do is he can stab you. So if it's 2 against 1, or even 1-on-1, you have a taser. Why not tase him? That's my problem. Why not tase the man? I just don't understand it. And then, his father said, excuse me, his father said that he has some mental health issues. This is what people mean by defund the police. And, these political ads, if you notice, the conservatives, they keep saying, oh, like here in Dallas, I see them all day, every day. And I'm really tired of seeing them, because that is the number one thing that I see from these Republicans who are going after the Democrats. And actually, one of them here in Dallas, he's a black man, and he is talking about defunding the police. It's a black man talking about coming against that, defunding the police. And I'm like, wow, you are a black man. I mean, you can pass barely, because I look at you and I can tell that you're black. I can tell that you're black because your skin is not completely, you have some melanin to your skin, and you're talking shit about the defund the police. And that's my frustration with this. They want to play like they don't know what defund the police mean. You guys know what people mean when they say defund the police. People are not saying abolish the police department. That's not what people are saying. Now, could they have used a better choice of words? Probably, but defund, people, again, these politicians, you guys went to school, so you guys know what defund means. You do it a lot. You do it quite often. You defund a lot of things. Look at the teachers. They're defunded, number one. So you know what defunds means. Take away some of the money some of the money that you give to these police departments and reallocate the sources somewhere else in mental health. Because if the man had mental health issues, so it would have been better to have someone come out and he could have been going through a manic episode. I don't know what mental health issues he had, but he could have been off his medication or something. You could have got someone to come out and talk him down. That's one thing you could have did. And like I said before, you could have tased him. You did not have to shoot and kill this man. You could have tased him. It's 2 against 1. If you won't, tase him. And the other one, go up behind him, knock the knife out of his hand, arrest him. Bam, bam, boom. That's one thing. But the other thing that I have a big problem with is when it comes to black men, you shoot and kill them. But when it comes to white people like Dylan Roof, which one was he? Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list of some of the ones. You got the Columbine shooting, you got the Virginia Tech shooting, you have the nightclubs in Florida, you have the Boston bombers, you have the guy who I think Dylan Roof is the one who went and shot up that church, and you have him. You have you got the Sandy Hook shooter. You got who else? You got like I'm at 6, and I probably can keep going, but you have all these people that have killed people, and you got the guy who did the shooting down here in Texas, and I can't remember, at the Walmart. You have who else? I'm still thinking. It's a lot more. I know it's a lot more that I'm probably not thinking of. And you guys, if you want to let me know in the comment section, please do that. Actually, please don't. I don't want to think about it. But the problem that I do have with that is the people the shootings the 7 that I named, they were all armed. And what happened to them? There's a difference between them. One, they were all armed, and number 2, they were all white. And what happened to them? Not one of them got shot and killed. The police arrested them. And I'm so tired of this. Like on Twitter, people will be like, well, they surrendered. I don't give a fuck if they surrendered. They just shot and killed people. You want me to give them a badge of honor for killing people? They murdered people. They did mass shootings. Like, you want me to give them a badge of honor for saying, oh, I surrender after I just shot and killed people? No. And I'm not saying, an eye for an eye or anything like that, but goddamn, if they're armed, you don't know what they're gonna do to you. So why not be on guard? Right? Because isn't this what they're doing with the black men? They're being on guard. It's just irritating to me. It really is. Like, that's actually why I don't deal with the police I don't deal with the police at all. Like when I was talking in my Real Housewives of Potomac reviews, when I say I wouldn't call the cops, this is a reason why I don't call the cops. I know they're there for, to help us, but I don't feel like they help us. I don't feel like they help us. I really don't. And then even in our neighborhoods, they're slow to respond. They're very, very slow to respond in a black neighborhood as opposed to a white neighborhood. See it all the time. I see it all the time because I grew up in a black neighborhood, but I have, I used to hang out I have friends who are white, and I used to hang out in their neighborhood. And when they call, they're right there. But in our fucking neighborhoods, it takes forever and a day for them to get there. And the sad part is, like in my hometown, I don't live there. Like my grandmother's house, right? It's downtown is not that far from my grandmother's house, and the police station is downtown. But it takes them forever to get there. But anywhere else in my hometown, which is like in the south side, which is the white side of town, shit, they come out there like it ain't shit. So yeah, you guys, I just, like I said, I'm just frustrated. I'm tired of talking about it. I don't know what we have to do to get some kind of resolve, some kind of change. I just don't know. But like I said, I do know that I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, actually. Like, what do we have to do? And then when we protest, oh, that's Antifa. Oh, that's, the Black Lives Matter is a radical group. Da 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 da. Their rhetoric. And it's exhausting at this point. But I'm going to move on to some more, I guess, I don't know if these next stories are going to be funny. Some of them might be. But let's move on nonetheless. All right, you guys. Next thing I want to talk about is Nene Leakes. Damn, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, you went from, the quote unquote queen of the Real Housewives of Atlanta to, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Now, I know a few weeks ago, I didn't talk about it. I know Rox talked about it. I think Ashley talked about it. Her opening up Lanithia's, her lounge out there in Atlanta. Congratulations to that. But this week, I don't know if she put this video out or who put this video out of her. I think this was at Lanithia's, but I mean, y'all could have kept this because in the background, you could see somebody walking around. I'm like, girl, couldn't you have done this in couldn't you rent it? I thought she said she had a studio space that she was using for, her YouTube, which even when she's at her home, like, now I get it, she might not want people in the house, but goddamn, like, you couldn't find somewhere nice to film this shit. And then on top of that, whoever was recording it did a terrible job recording this. So she has this little show that she's calling The Recession. And I felt some type of way about this because I felt some type of way about those men that was in the video with her. I'm like, so you go out and find the stereotypical gay men to do the quote unquote reading with you, okay. And then the other thing that bothered me with these men were, so she was doing talking about some stuff that was in the blogs. And the one thing that they discussed was Tyra Banks and, this whole thing of her not wanting housewives on Dancing with the Stars, which I'm like, who the hell really watches Dancing with the Stars? So, and more specifically, she it was named Teresa, Nene, and Bethany. Now, Tyra has since come out and said that wasn't something that she said. So they were talking about how Tyra is washed up, she's, and Nene said, I was on Dancing with the Stars before you were. That's my problem with Nene. Nene is not the humble person that she once was. Like, Nene, you coming at Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks has been around longer than I've, been a model longer than I've been alive. And I'm 31 years old. I think Tyra was a model. I think Tyra started modeling in the late 80s, maybe. I can't remember. But again, she's been a model for a very long time. She's been on before you were on. So for you to say that, I'm like, okay. And then, they were talking about, and then one of the guys said that Tyra wasn't relevant before Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, are you serious? Tyra's always been relevant. When has she not been relevant? Like, she was on America's Got Talent. She's had America's Next Top Model. Like, when has Tyra Banks not been relevant? Like, tell me when she's not been relevant. When has she not been relevant? Y'all tried that one. But then, like I said, it was just the whole stereotypical gay man thing that got to me. And it just felt to me like Nene was just using them as an accessory. That's just how I felt and what I got from it. And then the next thing that bothered me was the production. Like, when they were talking, you could clearly tell that they were on the phone. And I'm not being shady or judgmental because, hell, I'm filming on my phone. And that's because I just haven't had the time to go buy me a new my DSLR camera. But I'm definitely in the process of buying it and updating all my equipment. But you could clearly tell that they were recording on the camera because you could see it, like they were going from person to person to person. And then when one person was talking, like one guy, like there was a guy in the middle talking. He was talking and he stopped talking, and the guy to the side of him was talking, but they had the camera still on the guy in the center, and then they moved the camera to him. And then the editing was shitty as fuck. And again, can I talk about editing? No. but I don't have access to the shit that Nene has access to. So but I mean, I'm learning as I go. Like I learn as I go, and that's why I'm ready to get my computer so I can do a lot more with my editing. And I'm actually trying to get back into school. I'm trying to go to, learn about, production and everything. But yeah, I mean, that shit just looked really bad. I just wasn't feeling it. Keeping it real with you guys, wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. I know she, said that wasn't the final cut or whatever. I don't give a fuck, Nene. Please keep it. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. I feel like she's groveling at this point. And since I'm talking about Real Housewives since I'm talking about Nene, let's segue into just discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the trailer did release for the Real Housewives of Atlanta today, and all I gotta say is that trailer was lackluster as hell. Like, really? Y'all didn't give nothing. The only thing that was confusing to me was in the trailer that I saw that Marlo and Kenya are cool with each other. I'm like, huh? When did that happen? But yeah, let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next thing that I want to discuss is going to be Wendy Williams. You guys, I don't know what is going on with Wendy Williams. I don't know if she's back on drugs. I don't know if she's just, she's just going out all night and partying and drinking. I don't know what's going on with Wendy. Now, I don't know when this episode, because I don't really watch the Wendy Williams show like that. Actually, when she was filming from home, that was when I was like, you know what, Wendy, I cannot get with you with filming from home. Because when I saw her apartment, I was like, what in the fuck is all of that shit in that apartment? Like, God, I mean, like, she had so much shit in that apartment. I'm like, damn, that apartment looked like it was cluttered with just crap. I was just looking at that. I'm like, girl, you might want to get rid of a lot of that. I mean, that background. Like, what the fuck was all of that shit in her background? It was just too much. It was too busy for me. So I was like, you know what? I can't watch Wendy Williams from home. Like, actually, I was watching her. I was watching E.T. Is that the one that Kevin Fraser's on? He was, they were talking about when he interviewed her. And I was just looking, like I said, that apartment. Ugh. No, ma'am. Too much shit in that apartment. But on her show, I think it might have been last Friday. I don't remember. Again, like I said, I haven't watched Wendy. But I did see the clips where, she was talking. She was stumbling over her words. She was mispronouncing words. And then she looked like she was spacing out. I'm like, is she on something? It kind of gave me the vibes of that Halloween episode when her eyes went to the back of her head and she passed out. But I mean, we all know she said she had been in her sober living house. I just really hope and pray for the best with Wendy. I really do. I want her to be healthy and be her, and just be happy. Yeah, I really do. And I've been here for, Wendy in the city, her going out, her having fun. I've been here for that. But the issue that I really have with her, with Wendy in the city and going out and having fun and living this nightlife, the thing that I have a problem with is the people that she surrounds herself with, like Medina from growing up hip hop, New York. The thing that bothers me is that you all know Wendy's past. You all know Wendy is a recovering addict. So if she's a recovering addict, I'm not going to sit here and have my friend in an environment where they have access to alcohol and drugs. Now, I know some people who just have an addiction to drugs, they say, oh, I'm fine to be around, I can drink and stuff like that. No, you can't. If you have an addiction to drugs, that means you have what? An addictive personality. So any little thing, you can get addicted to it. And that's my whole thing. If I have a friend that's a drug addict or an alcoholic, I'm not going to put them in an environment where they have access to things that could trigger them. Because, hey, and even with a drug addict, even if they start drinking, that they can start drinking, I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling that rush, but I'm not getting what I need from it. that could trigger them to spiral back to whatever drugs that they were on previously. So that's my whole situation with Wendy. I just want the best for Wendy. I hope that Wendy's getting the help that she needs. I don't know if her team is necessarily doing it, but prayers to Wendy nonetheless. And let's move over to the last story. All right, you guys, and then the last story that we're going to talk about is going to be Boosie. You know, but I'm so glad that he went on Mike Tyson's podcast, because I felt like Mike Tyson ripped him a new one, because Mike Tyson said something that I have been wondering for quite a while about Boosie. Why was he so fixated on his whole, why is he so fixated on what gay men do and don't do? I don't get it. I'm glad that Mike Tyson asked him, are you gay? Like, if you're not, why concern yourself with what gay people are doing? I don't understand that. I don't understand why people concern themselves about what other people are doing if it ain't got shit to do with you. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, why do you care about other people's business? And more specifically, why do you care about what other people do in their bedroom? If you not there, what the fuck that got to do with you? Like, I had a friend back in my hometown, and she is messy. She wasn't really like a good friend of mine. We were just acquaintances. She's pretty messy. And, you know, there's one guy in my hometown that people will be like, he gay. And, you know, she was talking about, and she was standing in front of me. She was like, ooh, I heard so-and-so is gay. I'm like, okay, what's that got to do with me? And what does that have to do with you? She's like, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, but I don't think it's right that he going around town pretending like he's straight. And I asked her once again, I said again, what they got to do with you? And she kept saying she doesn't think it's right that he's portraying to be straight. I'm like, is he fucking you or are you fucking him? She said no. I said, okay then. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Whoever he's fucking ain't got nothing to do with you. If he ain't fucking you, if he's not having sex with you, you don't have any room to be worried about who the fuck he's messing with. That ain't got shit to do with you. Like, I hate people who do that. I really do. Honest to God, I hate people who do that, who worry about other people's sexuality. Are you gay? And actually, that's one of my friends. I'm like, are you? No, I ain't gay. Okay, then why you worried about who somebody's sleeping with? Like, worry about who's in your bed. Worry about your nigga or lack thereof a nigga. Like, worry about that shit. Don't worry about somebody that ain't got nothing to do with you. I hate people who do that. I hate people who worry about what other people are doing in their private lives. If they ain't doing it with you, it ain't your business. Stay out of it. Leave it alone. Live your life and be happy. Like, I really, that's how I feel about anything. But yeah, you guys, that is gonna wrap it up for the hot topics of this week. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Share this video, and as always, we do this at the same time and the same place. And you guys remember, wear your mask, wash your hands, and socially distance. And fuck what WhatsApp is saying. They're not gonna stop talking about COVID on no fucking November 4th. But until next time, you guys, I will see you guys later.